What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Now we're gonna talk about father and child dynamic, right? And when these relationships go south. So if you haven't been keeping up with what's going on, man, Boosie daughter, she been on Instagram Live disrespecting the hell out of her daddy, right? And honestly, her disrespect is way out of pocket. She been calling him every name except daddy. Every disrespectful name you could think of, calling him a bitch n-word, calling her daddy a sperm donor, when we always used to, we know he used to always have his kids all the time, right? She used to be one of the ones always there and all of that, right? She calling her daddy a rat. She telling him all, talking crazy to him, right? Mind you, this is a 16-year-old child, right? I'm seeing her telling her, she's talking about what happened. And she like, who goes to a hood rat door? Because Boosie called her mama a hood rat. She was like, who go to a hood rat door to ask if a baby is his? You know what I'm saying? A man like that. Who does that? A man that really cares about his children, right? So let me say this. I'm gonna give y'all a backstory. All this started because Boosie took away a car that he bought for her, right? A 2023 AMG Benz. He took the car away from her. And Boosie say he did that because, you know, he always keep his kids during the summertime. He always keep all of them for the entire summer. He said at one point during the summer, she wanted to go back to stay with her mama, right? And he said she wanted to do this all of a sudden after her mother put him on child support, right? So he felt like they were all in it together. They were all in cahoots with one another. He felt like they were conspiring against him because he's like, it's awfully odd that as soon as your mama filed child support on me, you want to run back home to your mom. He felt like, hey, y'all were in on this together, right? This is according to him. So he took her car as a bargaining chip for her to come back home to him, right? She never came back home. Boosie felt like her mama, his child's mother, corrupted her brain, corrupted her mind, and she has turned his 16-year-old daughter against him, right? His daughter, on the other hand, says she left to be with her mom when she found out her mom was in a bad car accident, an accident that she almost lost her life in. That's what she says, right? Now, Boosie talking about it, he seemed very hurt, as he should be, right? No father want to be into a back and forth with his daughter. No father want to be in turmoil at odds with his daughter, going back and forth with her on social media, so on and so forth, right? So Boosie, he gets on Vlad TV. For all this that went on, he gets on Vlad and talks about it. He reveals that he'd been taking care of his daughter since she was 8 months old when he first found out that this was his daughter, right? Now, Boosie made a horrible mistake divulging this information, revealing this to the public. He already said this 4 years ago when he got into it with his daughter's mom 4 years ago. He revealed this to the world. He revealed that his daughter's mom is a girl that him and his homeboy used to be flipping back in the day. And if you don't know what flipping means, he's saying that him and his homeboy used to be running a train on his daughter's mom, right? At one point, he thought the baby was his homeboy's baby. Come to find out, 7-8 months later, he figures out that this baby is his. He come and get a DNA test, and it's confirmed that it's his child, right? And so he said ever since that day he found out, he changed her name, first and last name, and then he been having her he had her for the first few years of her life because her mama was in jail and he was having her, right? Now, let me just say this. First of all, when you reveal this type of information, basically revealing that you used to flip your daughter's mama, she was a flipper, she was a slut, all this and all of that, how you think that's gonna make your child feel? Do you think that's gonna repair the bond between you and your child? Hell no, because her mother has custody of her. She's with her mother primarily, right? She come with you every summer. She be with her daddy all the time in the summertime and all of that. But that's her mama, right? How you think that's gonna make her feel about you, that you disrespecting her mother for the world to hear all across, Vlad TV for millions of viewers to hear? Now you can get mad and say certain stuff, but you're revealing that she was conceived during a dang on train. Like, to the world, for the world to hear that, and then the world gonna pile on to his baby mama, calling her every name in the book, all type of skanks and sluts and all of that. That's gonna make her feel bad and make her feel terrible, because like, yo, they talking about her mama, right? And as a man with 2 children, right, And I have both of my children are by two different women. I had a child when I was 18 and a child when I was 27, right? I can't imagine if me and my daughter, that's my oldest child, and me and my daughter's mom had odds. I'm talking about her mama to her and into the world and putting it all on social media. My daughter would look at me. I have a 12-year-old daughter, so she's older, right? She's 12. I'm 30 years old now. My daughter would be looking at me like, what type of daddy? What daddy? Why are you talking about my mama like this? How you doing this, man? I thought, you love me. Why you trashing her like this? You know it's gonna hurt her to know that you trashing her mama like that, right? Now, I will say, too, that Boosie's baby mama, airing him out on social media, is a no-no either, because she been trashing him for the longest, right? But she says that and Boosie revealed this too, and she said it too. Boosie says that, 4 years ago, his BM, she went public because she believes that Boosie had something to do with her brother being killed. And ever since then, there's been no holds barred. She been going in on him, trashing him every chance she could get. And so she went on Instagram Live about it, right? During that live that she made, or YouTube video live that she made 4 years ago, she plays an audio clip of Boosie talking about how he was going to black his daughter's eye when he see her again, right? At this time, 4 years ago, his daughter was 12 at the time, because she's 16 now. And right, she's like, hold on, you talking what type of man talking about you going to black your daughter eye, so on and so forth and all of that. And so now it looks crazy on Boosie's part, right? But it also looks crazy on her part because you went on live. You're expressing these opinions to the world about your child's father, and then she's getting pulled in both directions. But Boosie added flame to the fire when he revealed that, when the child stay with her mom 24 majority of the time, you trashing out, talking about basically letting the world know how mama's a slut and a hoe and all that. It just makes everything worse. So both of them were in the wrong for airing all this out on social media, right? So then the other day, Boosie get on Instagram Live and admits that he did threaten to black his daughter's eye, and he said it because his daughter was giving her body away to boys at the football games in the bathroom. Basically saying his daughter was being promiscuous, right? Around that time, she 12 some years old, having sex with boys in the locker room. And he said, I said worse than that. She disrespecting the family name. She tarnishing the family name out here, giving her body away, right? Then he said that his BM, his baby mama, his daughter's mom, was letting a 19-year-old man stay in a house with a 14-year-old girl, and he snapped because of that. Now, that's out of fucking pocket if that's the case, right? Because that just seemed like the mama trying to be the daughter friend than be a mother. Ain't no way a grown-ass man, 19 years old, you legally a grown man at that point. Stan, why you with a 14-year-old girl in the house for? She's underage. Why are you letting this go on? You know this 19-year-old boy trying to have sex and freak on this little child. So I get Boosie being pissed about that. But saying he gonna black an eye and all of that, and then what the worst part about, not even just the black and saying he gonna black an eye, revealing to the world that his daughter was having sex and giving her body away to boys in the bathroom, to the world, to the public. That shit, come on, dog. Certain stuff is not for our ears. And both of these parents, the mother and Boosie, gotta notice everything is not for public consumption. Keep things to yourself. Keep things between y'all family. Don't get on social media. And again, even when your daughter lashing out, the way you don't respond back by making songs about your daughter and all that, and about her mama being a hoe and all that, telling the story about how your homie used to flip her, and and telling everybody in the world that your daughter used to be giving herself away in the bathroom to boys. It looks crazy because now he's pissed about his daughter being hypersexual, when we know he wasn't pissed about his son. He was encouraging his son to be hypersexual and encouraging hypersexual activity by getting his 15-year-old son some fellatio from a stripper. Right? His underage son. And I told y'all, I have a son, right? My son, 2 years old. My son gets older. I'm not going to encourage him to be engaged in sexual acts when he's a young boy. I'm not, because I know what they can do when your son is 15 years old and you're trying to get him some head from a stripper. Now he's hypersexualized, trying to freak on all the girls in the neighborhood. Now you got a 15-year-old boy talking to another 14-year-old girl or something like that, asking her what's her favorite sex position, so on and so forth, when they're young as hell. Now, we know in the hood, kids do be having sex young, but I'm not going to encourage it on my son because I don't want him to be a hypersexual super freak. His ass won't think about sex 24/7. All he worried about is getting some head because he got that grown woman head. He chasing that high again. And he out here losing his fucking mind now. Now, next thing we know, he got babies everywhere. Well, he got diseases, so on and so forth. And it's just craziness, right? So Boosie was mad about his son, his daughter being hypersexual, but he was bigging it up. You know, when his daughter was he mad about his daughter being hypersexual, but he was bigging it up when his son was being hypersexual, right? Then look, on the video he made the other day about his baby mama, he like, she mad about her brother. Then he say he playing spades with Tupac right now. Basically clowning her brother's death. Like, oh, your brother playing spades in heaven with Tupac. He dead now. And I'm like, yo, I feel like two things can be true, right? It's wrong for I feel like it's wrong for Boosie to make a diss song towards his daughter and reveal her sexual exploits on social media to the world. But he's also terrible for trashing his daughter's mother and telling the world how his baby was conceived, right? That's terrible thing. That's just horrible, right? And I'm like, don't he know that regardless of how he feels about his daughter's mom, it will still affect his daughter in the long run because that's her mother, right? It's still going to affect her and hurt her heart that you trashing her mother and then telling everybody you conceived her during a train. How you think that's going to make her self-esteem feeling that like it's just going to be terrible, right? And then also, his daughter is terrible for trashing her father. And his daughter's mama is horrible for trying to be her daughter's friend and letting her daughter talk crazy about her father on social media. She's sitting there in the car with her daughter, letting her berate her father, calling him every name under the sun, cussing him out. She in the car hyping her daughter up to trash her father. And I'm like, what type of mother is this shit? Like, this is crazy. Don't matter how much you despise her father, that is still that girl's father. Don't hype her up to belittle and trash him. She on there saying stuff like, yeah, he should have never came to the door trying to see if it was his baby. Like, yeah, so now I do want the money. Yes, I want the money. I'm looking like, what type of hood trifling ass shit is this? All is trifling. Boosie running a Vlad telling family business about how his daughter was conceived and then making songs about his daughter. The mama egging the daughter on to trash Boosie in the first place and all this stuff. But this is what happens when people don't have emotional intelligence on both sides. When two people who are lacking emotional intelligence conceive a baby, have a baby, and they trying to raise it and they have problems, because they don't have emotional intelligence, they let their emotions get the best of them, say horrible things to each other, and then because of they don't have good emotional intelligence, their child doesn't either. She doesn't develop emotional intelligence correctly, and now you're seeing the results of that, right? You're seeing the results of that. The daughter is acting like both of her parents. She acting like both of her parents right now. She's the product of her mother, who has trifling behavior, and she's a product of Boosie, who has trifling behavior. And I love Boosie's music, but he got trifling behavior too, right? None of this should have been handled in public. Boosie shouldn't have made a song to respond to his daughter. As a father of a 12-year-old daughter, I could never co-sign that. And that's not how you handle things with your child. You gonna have a conversation with your baby, go. You gotta meet up with her, talk to her on whatever phone. Y'all talk that shit out. You tell her she ain't gonna disrespect you. She ain't gonna be showing her ass. She ain't gonna give you her ass to kiss. But at the same time, you don't air out her dirty laundry about her, having sex and all that is it, being her promiscuity and all of that. It's not right. And he's learning now. But she acts like both of them. Not emotionally intelligent.